Boxing Social here with Eddie Hearn. Fight week is nearly done. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Buzzing, really. I mean, if you can't get up for nights like this, you might as well quit the sport. So really excited about the fight. A little bit nervous because I think it's a really tough fight for Anthony and Joshua. But also excited about the undercard and really excited about the main event.
We had the final press conference on Tuesday. What did you make of Parker's presence during the stare down and during the press conference in general?
It's hard to take anything from it. You know, people say, oh, he looked a bit nervous, and he looked relaxed to me. I think he's soaking it all in, he's enjoying it. I think the weigh-in will hit him a little bit tomorrow because it is like nothing you could imagine. 5,000 at a weigh-in, loud, Good Friday. And then the night itself will hit him. It may raise his game or it may weaken him. But I kind of get the impression that he's a laid-back character, and I think he's going to perform well in this fight.
David Higgins tried to kind of goad you into something, but didn't really succeed. You fired back immediately.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of time for Dave. You know, we worked well together to get this fight over the line. He has good banter, just not in my league. And you know, luckily for me, I knew what to say at the right time, and we had some fun. But it's all good. You know, there's respect between the two camps, and at the end of the day, we just both want to win badly. You know, that comes for the whole teams, not just me. Joshua, Rob McCracken, Freddie Cunningham, Andy Bell. Like, we're just desperate to win, both camps.
Let's talk about Price-Povetkin, because that's, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I love the fight because it's like you've got one guy who's completely written off, who for a long time people were thinking this is the big British heavyweight hope. Massive puncher, you saw the size of him, huge, but always underperformed on the big stage. Then you've got the other guy who's basically already mandatory for Anthony Joshua, that has everything to lose. So nothing to lose against everything to lose, but sometimes you make a fight where you just can't see a way that a guy could win. Like if David Price couldn't punch, I would give him not one hope in this fight. But he punches probably as hard as any heavyweight in the world. So if he hits Povetkin on the chin, it's over. And that's the same for any heavyweight really in the world. If he hits him clean on the chin, particularly when trading, but he's got to throw, but he's also susceptible. He has been knocked out before. Povetkin can punch. I thought Povetkin looked excellent last night at the workout. And it's a tough fight, but nothing to lose. He should go in there and enjoy himself if you can in that kind of situation. And that victory would completely turn his life and his career around.
What went through your mind when you got the fight done, Price-Povetkin?
Well, I don't have either guy. So I work with World of Boxing with Povetkin. They are going to fight Joshua at some point. So it was all about building that fight and keeping him active. And I said, you've got to fight a British guy because that's what's going to make the fight relevant. We looked at Chisora, he was in another fight, and Price got the call, he took it straight away. And I just thought, wow, interesting, you know, interesting. I mean, it's always great to make two big heavyweight punchers against each other, but it's just the dynamics of that fight and just the twist. And I can just see boxing sometimes throws up the most crazy scenarios. And again, I know Price is a massive underdog in the fight, but I don't know.
You got pretty much almost every single big name in the British boxing scene on this card. Josh Kelly, I don't need to name him. Everybody knows what's up. How will you top this? It's just about keep challenging yourself, just keep working as hard as you can, and if you do things right, generally things fall into place in life. You need luck along the way, and we've had good luck and we've had bad luck, but I just think that if you're relentless enough and you do the right things, eventually you're going to get the results, and what we're seeing at the moment is the results. And I kind of looked at myself at the end of last year and felt that sometimes the quality of what we were producing wasn't quite good enough because we might be getting a little bit complacent. And yes, you know, people talk about we've got control or a monopoly, which isn't true, of British boxing. And I think sometimes we were just taking our foot off the gas a little bit on events. Then I realised that there's competition out there. You know, there's promoters coming back into the game, there's other broadcasters. And I decided really at the end of last year that we've got to step up and we've got to make these big fights again. And, you know, obviously got Hay Bellew on March the 5th. We had Coley Chamberlain, which didn't play out the way we wanted to, but it was still a huge show. Dillian White against Lucas Brown was a massive success last weekend. Brook against Rabchenko. Amir Khan coming up. Joshua against Parker. So we want to bring that big event feel back, and I think we've had a great start to the year. Deontay Wilder, he was supposed to be here, now he's not. How disappointed are you and Mr. Wilder for not showing up?
I'm disappointed, but I'm more disappointed for him. Like, it doesn't make any difference to me whether he's here or not. It's just that, obviously, we want to make the Wilder
Joshua fight as big as possible, and being here in front of the world media, like he was supposed to have a press conference here today after this one. It would have been absolutely rammed, like in the arena at the weigh-in, everything building momentum to try and make that fight. So it just starts, I just start questioning where, you know, I saw him in an interview last night saying, I've wanted this fight for years. But how many approaches have we had from his team? None, not one, to make this fight. If I had a fighter who wanted a fight, I would sleep outside the house of his promoter to try and talk to him if he didn't want to talk to me. So I don't understand, like if he wants this fight so bad, why aren't we getting contact from their team to make the fight? Why aren't we getting, you know, relentless pressure from them to make the fight? Why isn't Wilder calling me to try and make the fight? I don't understand.
There is a reason for everything. What do you think in your heart of hearts that reason is?
I think the team's just disjointed. He has 3 managers. He has Shirley Winkle, he has Jay Diaz, and he has Al Heyman.
So too many cooks in the kitchen.
I guess so. I don't know if people aren't telling each other or communicating with each other, but if you want a fight so badly for years and years, how can you have never approached someone to make that fight? So, and I believe Deontay wants it, by the way. You know, he's a fighter, and he believes he can win. He wants to make massive money, so of course he'd want the fight. But he just needs to really grab hold of the situation, because at the moment it's very, very strange.
Do you think it might be the fact that he snubbed this event? Do you think it might be because he was expecting a bit of a setup, or maybe that's not the right word, but
he wanted to get in the ring after the fight, right? And all we said to him was, listen, this is Joshua Parker. If Joshua wins and he decides and it feels right, and I'll speak to Josh, and then we'll get you in the ring. But we're not planning it. You know, when the bell goes, you're not getting in the ring and going up to Joshua after he might have done 12 rounds in a war and getting in his face. We'll decide that, but we're all in this together to promote this fight. It's the biggest fight in world boxing. So, but even the worst case scenario is he didn't get in the ring. Joshua gets interviewed here by the turnbuckle, and Wilder's there working for Sky. It's an epic picture to grow the biggest fight in world boxing. But even if he wasn't at the fight, come and do the media. There's more media here than there's probably been at every one of his fights for his whole career combined. So it's weird. It's very, very strange. I don't know if it's him just saying no or his team saying no, but there's no method to anything he's saying.
He's not up for the test.
No, again, and by the way, this isn't... I like Deontay Wilder. I say again, he's a great fighter. He's a great personality. He looks the part. He should be a global superstar. He's not even a national superstar. But we can help him with that. But get in touch. Like, I'll tell you, call me and I'll tell you exactly what's happening, exactly the plan. Don't go through him who then goes through him. It's like Chinese whispers. So we'll see.
Where does Dillian Whyte fit?
I want him to fight Deontay Wilder in June or July. And people say, oh, you're trying to palm Wilder off onto Whyte. If he doesn't fight Whyte, it doesn't mean we don't make the Joshua fight. All I'm saying is that if Joshua fights Wilder next, it will be October, November, December. We may have an interim fight in July or August. We may not. But right now, there's an opportunity for Deontay Wilder to earn twice what he's ever earned before in a fight, to fight Dillian Whyte in June in London. And if he thinks it's as easy as he says it is, it will give him more value in the Joshua fight. It will make the Joshua fight even bigger, and it will give him a record payday in the meantime. So it's not derogatory, it's an opportunity. But again, I don't understand the madness of the team, so maybe I'm mad. But when I break it down, I start thinking about it, just nothing makes sense.
Update on Dana White?
Nothing. I don't think he's coming. I think he's pulled out, apparently. So
everybody's pulling out.
Well, you know why? Because he's probably seen the reports of the money and thought, oh no, like, you know. I don't know. I mean, look, I spoke to Josh about it. Josh says, look, as we always do, we'd all sit down together and look at any opportunity. But one thing Josh has of his career is total control. And I'm not sure that's something that would sit well with those guys. You know, Josh does what he wants, when he wants. He controls his entire business and his entire brand and his entire strategy. And we work together on that. So I don't think there's too much to the story. And we look forward to extending our relationship with Joshua till the end of his career.
Next step after Cardiff?
Again, everything hinges on Saturday night. You know, is it a quick finish? Is it a long, gruelling fight? Talks of a fight in July or August. If it's a very tough fight, could pick up an injury. Wait till October, November, December. Everyone's talking about Wilder and these other fights. 100% focus on Joshua Parker.
Hearn, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.